Hey guys! Today I'm super excited because I received a order from Crochet Yarn, which I'm super excited about. So I'm going to go ahead and open up and show you what I got. And then I'm also going to make a plushie out of this yarn either today or in the next couple of days. And I'll also attach that to this video as well. So let me open the box up and I'll be right back. I'm back with my sea of yarn. So Crochet had a sale going on where it was 50% off when they opened their website. So I went ahead and grabbed one of every color that they had in stock, just because I really wanted to try them out. It was the perfect time to buy them. One thing I want to point out, they have this packaging, which is super cute. I love that they're individually packaged. It says, "We're so grateful for your support of nature by choosing our product with recyclable packaging." So this is also recyclable, which is cool. And it says hand to hand for a greater world. And then it has a little name at the bottom, which I think is neat. So that will go in the recycling, but I have covered myself in yarn on my chair. So I'm going to show you all the colors that I got. And I am super excited to see what I can come up with to make plushie wise with these colors. First off, I want to talk about how soft it is. It's super, super soft. It is a velvet yarn, which typically I don't like some of the velvet ones. I think they feel a bit weird texture wise, but this one's really similar to the Perfect Chunky texture wise to me. It's actually softer than that, in all honesty. I gotta see if I can find. I like to do a center pull, and I will recake all of mine just because it fits in my storage better and I like the way it looks. I do try to keep the packaging with it so I know what yarn I'm using when I go to use it in future products. When I go to use it in future projects, most of the time though I can actually tell just by the feel of it which yarn it is. But this one, the fraying doesn't seem as bad. And with any kind of yarn that you have like this, it's gonna have some fraying. This one, it's not as bad as some of the other ones that I've used in the past, but I do really like the colors. So first off, I got this beautiful like minty kind of color. I'm just gonna be piling them down here and then recaking them and putting them in my yarn wall that I have over on the side. So I have this dusty kind of blue, a light blue, a brighter blue, another dark blue, which I've been needing some of these colors like pretty badly, and I want to make some more small plushies. So this is going to be the perfect yarn for that as well. So I'll put all my blues over there. I think that's all the blues. There might be one more hiding somewhere. And then I got a dark purple, which is gorgeous. This beautiful lavender. I have a couple different shades of gray. So there's a darker gray and a lighter gray. I also have a cream and a white, which I am in desperate need of the white. So that is awesome. I also got some yellows, and I love that there's like 3 different shades of the yellow, because sometimes it's hard to find good yellows. So they had a lot of different shades of yellow. So these two are pretty close, but there is a difference. I can see it more in my eyes. This one's more of like an orange. This one's more like a true yellow, and then the bright yellow. Then I have 2 reds here. I have like a dusty mauve-y kind of pink, and then a brighter pink. And then this one I believe is like, this one's more like this is a peachy color. It's like a pinky peach. And then I have, this one is kind of like grayish beige. I don't ever really know how to describe this color. It is a grayish beige. It can go a lot of different ways of projects. I like to use this color for like mushrooms because it's like that color of like the base of the mushroom. And then I have a nice tan brown, another brown, and then the dark brown, which I was needing more as well. This one is so bright. It's the only neon one I got. I think it's awesome. This coloring is crazy. It is so bright. I have to figure out what I want to do. You can like see the reflection of the color off of my face, which is nuts. Let me know if there's any colors that you're seeing that you think would look good with a certain plushie, or you have an idea for a plushie in a certain color. I will definitely take those suggestions and see what I can create. So that's going to go to the side. And then I have this green, which I really like the color of this one. And then more of like a tree green, I would say. So I got those two. And then last but not least, I got some black. So they're super soft, and I'm so excited to get crocheting with these yarns. Like I said, I'm going to recake them, and then I'm going to come back and start my next plushie with you guys. I was actually saving this yarn specifically for this plushie that I will be making, so I will see you in a little bit after I get it all caked and ready to go. Okay, so here is all of the yarn all caked, and I'm so excited to get started using these. So now I just got to decide what pattern I want to use and what colors I want to use first. Okay, I'm back. So with the help of Haley, I picked out the two colors I'm going to use from the crochet yarn to start with. And I'm going to actually be doing Haley's pattern, which is Savannah the Giraffe. I'm super excited to make this little cutie. And I'm actually also going to be using the hook that she made me as well, which is my favorite hook that I own. I will definitely be getting more hooks from her in the future when I have the extra money to get them. But yeah, I'm super excited, and this is the other shirt that I had gotten. So I'm super excited to get started on this one. I will speed through all the parts where I'm crocheting, and I'll stop to do a couple little talks in between. But I do, however, have to wait because I want to do a certain eye color with the giraffe, but I apparently am out of that size eye, so I have to wait till they get here tomorrow, paint them. So I'm going to do as much as I can without putting the eyes in, and then I'll have to come back to it on a different day because I thought I had the eyes and apparently I do not. But yeah, I'm going to get started here, and I'm actually going to back up the camera, I think, a little bit more so you can see a bit more, but I will be looking at the pattern and also watching the show. So see you in a bit. Alright, so I got most of the head done. I do, however, have to actually stop for the head because I still need to do the eyes. So the head is going to be placed off to the side until I have the eyes done to complete it. But it is looking adorable so far. I love that there's different sizes of little spots. I think that's really cute. It's nice to have a different, not like all matchy-matchy all the way around. It's turning out really cute. I'm excited. So I'm just going to put this cutie off to the side. What I'm probably going to do, because I need the yellow. So I'm trying to decide. I think I'm gonna, normally I do like a center pull. So I think I'm just gonna put it to the side and then pull from around. That way I don't have to cut it off, because I don't want to cut it off and have to retie it and then mess with all that. So I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm so close to finishing the head too. It makes me so sad that I forgot about the eyes, getting them ready in time. So I'm going to work on the next part, which will be the muzzle, and then continue down the pattern until everything's done. And then I'm assuming I'm going to get this done today minus the actual head, so I'll have to put it together another day. I love when pieces don't take very long. This thing took me not even 5 minutes. So I got the muzzle done. What is the nose, I guess, too? This one needs a long tail for sewing, so I'm going to go about there. So I got the nose done, which is so weird to finish that part and not finish the head. But one more piece done. So the next, I will be starting on the body. I want to make sure the head... Okay, so I don't need the head, like it's not continually done, which makes sense because I'm doing them separately. They're being attached later by sewing, so I'm going to go ahead and start on the body. I'm just going to have to do this a little bit differently than I like, because, you know what, I might actually cut it off because I feel like I'm going to end up using a lot of yellow and it's going to be more of a hassle for me to have to pull it the other way. So I'm just going to fasten off about there. That way I can just tie it back on later, and then I can actually use it the way I like to. So now I just gotta get started on the body. So I finished the body. Took me a little longer than I wanted to because I messed up a couple of times, and I got distracted by my show. So it took me about 50 minutes or so to do, just because there's quite a lot of color changes. I like to burn on my ends, so that takes time as well. And then, like I said, I got distracted a couple of times. So now I'm doing the tail, which the tail should be a pretty quick one, but I'm doing the tail now. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, the little tail's done. Took me about 5 minutes. So now I just have, I use my tablet and I highlight where I'm at on the pattern, which takes a little bit of time away from crocheting, but when I don't know the pattern yet, it helps me not lose track of where I'm at, especially if I have to stop in the middle and come back to it later, which does happen sometimes. I have to do that, But now I'm going to start on the 2 ears, so I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so it took me about 10 minutes total to make the 2 ears, so 5 minutes each. I did, however, realize what time it is, and I am actually going to a friend's house here very soon, and I need to eat dinner. So I am going to have to stop today, and then get back to this later, which works out okay because, like I said, I am waiting on those eyes. The eyes should be here tomorrow, but I do need to paint them, and they do need to dry, so I'll probably get them tomorrow, paint them, have them dry, and then I put resin on the back of all of my eyes. And I'll show you how I make my eyes. But yeah, so bye for now. Hi guys, welcome back. It has been a while since I've been able to work on this project. There's stuff that came up, so I haven't been able to work on it. But I have now finished all the parts of Savannah the giraffe, and I'm going to start sewing them all together. But I just want to show off the little eyes are in there. They turned out really cute. And now all that's left to do is attach all the parts and see how it turns out. So I'm going to show you a tool that I use when I do any of the plushies that involve sewing. So I use amigurumi sticks, and I have a couple different ones. I only have 2 different ones at the time being. I cannot remember which ones I got from where, so I will add that in the comments later because I have to look it up. But I have this pair that is longer. I believe it is, let me find my measuring tape. These ones are the available, like, part that you put through it. It's about 8 inches. And then my smaller sticks are about 6 inches. So I do have 2 different sizes, so it depends on which projects I'm doing. I have the 2 different sizes, but I believe, like I said, I will add who made which ones. I believe they're both different. I could be wrong, but they both have, I like the look of the little crochet top. So I have the pink little crochet top with the purple, and then this one is all purples and silver, and I love these. They are very helpful. And then I also have all of my little pins that are used for like curlers that I use for small parts. So this one has a lot of sewing parts, so I always start with, depending on what needs to be done with this one, it's sewing the head first onto the body. So I'm going to line it up the way that I want it. And this one's not very long of a project, so I'm actually going to use the smaller ones. And then you just poke through the top into the bottom. And you can do it however which way you want. I typically will put 2 in when I'm doing a head, just to keep it more stable from moving, and then I'll adjust to line up where I want certain details and such. So this is what the top part looks like, and then I'm going to sew these together and I'll be right back. So I'm not done yet, but I did want to mention, like, I took out my sticks just because I want to make sure everything is stuffed firmly, so like the head isn't too wobbly. So I come in when there's still a little bit left to sew, but majority is done, and then I'll add more stuffing in just to get it more secure in the fitting the way I want it to make sure that the head's not too wobbly. With this one, the neck is nice and thick, so it's not like it's just a really thin neck, because giraffes don't really have really thin necks, so it will help anyway because of that. But I do like a little extra support. There's a lot of things to sew, so I'm just going to start sewing all of them on and not do clips in between unless I'm going to explain something. But the nice thing is, like, especially when it comes to sewing things on, is having good instructions on where the placement should roughly be. So I really like that Haley, of course, head to body is pretty simple of how that's sewn on, but like horns, she's giving row 2 to row 5, so you can get your placement really nice. And it looks like it's the description of where to sew is really good on this pattern as well. So that is always awesome to have, because you want it to be clear, because you can always adjust it slightly to get a little bit different look depending on what you want to do. But to have a baseline of where something goes when it comes to sewing like pieces on is very, very important. So I do really like that with this pattern. So I'm going to finish the head and do finish the head. I just have to do the horns, the little ears, and then the head will be done. Well, horns, little ears, and the muzzle. And then I just have the arms, legs, and tail. So I am going to see you when they're all done. Okay, I was gonna wait to show you the face, but it's just too cute, I can't. So ignore the strains, these will be tied off and everything later, but look how cute the face turned out. It's adorable. I really like how my eyes turned out too. Like you can see them, they're shiny brown. I think it turned out really cute. I'm so excited. So close to being done. Okay, I am done. I'm so excited to show you. So here is Savannah the giraffe. Look how adorable she turned out with her little tail. This pattern was very easy to follow, very cute. The sewing did take me a little while because I wanted to make sure my placement was exactly where I wanted it. But absolutely love the finished result. And the crochet yarn is amazing, easy to work with, super smooth. It's very, very soft. Like Savannah is super soft, which I think whoever ends up getting her is going to love. Of course, I had to add my little smirk that I add to my plushies. So I'm super excited with how she turned out. And I can't wait to find a forever home for her. Probably at my next market, I'm hoping, but we'll see. But I'm super excited. And like I said, I love the yarn. I really love the crochet yarn. It's very smooth and soft and velvety, of course, because it's a velvet yarn. It clumped a little, it didn't clump at all, but it did like fray a little at the ends, which is normal for some of the fluffy yarn. It doesn't pull an absurd amount or anything. It didn't clump up funky when I was using it to sew. So I will definitely be getting more whenever I run out of the colors that I have now. And I can't wait to make some more with it. I did make a little cow out of it as well around the same time I started Savannah, because I have had way too many things going on. So sadly I hadn't been able to finish her. So there is a little cow that I gave my dad for Father's Day. So that was the first thing I made, which of course I forgot to take a video of, but it turned out really cute. And like I said, I really love the feel of the yarn, and the color options are really, really nice. Like there's a lot of beautiful colors and like multiple colors, and like each multiple shades of different colors, which is really nice. So if you want to check out that yarn, again, it's crochet yarn. I think I'm saying it correctly. I'll put the links of the pattern from Haley with Creations by Haley, and her hook, which I used, but of course I cannot find at the moment. And then the crochet yarn and everything as well, and then the shirts, my new shirts that I absolutely love, from Whole Sam Crochet. They're just adorable. So you'll see these, and as you could tell, this video took me quite a few weeks to make just because I haven't had the time, and so my shirts change, my hair changes, everything does. But here is the finished result. Hope you guys have a great day and enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more close-up pictures of this little cutie, I will have them posted on my Instagram. So have a wonderful day. Bye everyone.